Like the king is supposed to fail judgment. Every day. That's the disgusting thing of being a king. You always, what you say will be done. So it's very demanding. So therefore he had a whole army of advisors. Others who were actually always advising him. No, in the Shastra it says like this. And to take the right course of action, sometimes very difficult. We have the story, described in Krishna book. A very, very wonderful king, wonderful devotee, very knowledgeable, giving every morning thousands of cows in charity to the brahmanas, distributing. But somehow it happened that one of the cow walked to the herd of the other brahmana, or they're back to their own herd, which can happen. So the same cow was donated again to another brahmana. Now the first brahmana who got the cow first was going, hey, what is my cow doing in his herd? Normally brahmanas don't argue about cows, especially when they have thousands of them. But this kind of happened suddenly, it was illusion in one sense. That this brahmana was upset, he said, no, this is my cow, the king gave this cow to me. And the other brahmana said, no, he donated this today in the morning to me. That can happen in a material world. Because of one cow. So what did they do? They went to the king. And they said, you decide. And the king said, well, that's really complicated, because I gave you the cow. Well, it was not my fault that the cow walked over back to my herd. And then I gave it again in charity to that brahmana. Well, sorry. That cannot be actually even changed. It just happened, You cannot do much about this. But listen, let's stop quarreling now. I give you again 1,000 cows each, and just go home and be happy. No, we want you to decide who is this cow, The king said, I cannot, this just happened, As a manager, you come very often into this kind of situation. It just happens, people do their own thing. And you are supposed to define what is right and what is wrong. Well, I didn't study the action, it just happened, And then you come here and ask me what is right and what is wrong. I didn't start that. It's discussing, like Prabhupada said, these discussions are discussing what is right and what is better. It's better the dry side of the cow dung lying on the road or the wet side. It's same cow dung, what should I decide? Now you must decide. And actually, the king got reaction for that in the form of that fact that he was born as a lizard once, one lifetime. But he was such an advanced king that he was informed about that at the point of death. He was informed, listen, you have unlimited lifetimes ahead of a most auspicious life due to your pious nature and due to your charities and due to being a wonderful person like that. But this is one lifetime you have to suffer in some kind of very low-grade form. So what do you want? You want first to, enjoy and have a wonderful life for many, many, many lifetimes, and then you will at the end, suffer one lifetime in a kind of hellish circumstance. Or you want the hellish circumstance first and then you can. Of course he was very intelligent. He said, well, what kind of enjoyment it will be when I enjoy all the time knowing that, one day it's over and then I have to go to hell. No. Let me first go to hell, get it over. It's like going to the dentist, and then it's finished and then I can eat, So he was clever. So of course this is a pastime because actually his so-called punishment was actually the biggest blessing. The biggest blessing was that he was born as a lizard in Krishna's garden, in a well, King Riga. And then, there as a lizard, he was, that's quite a hellish circumstance. You just sit down there in a well, in a dark place, and cannot go anywhere, do anything actually, hardly. Can wait for some fly passing by, you can eat it, and that's it. So, finally, we know that Krishna was playing in the garden, and seeing the lizard down there, he reached down in this huge well by extending his arm long distance to pick up the lizard and lifted him up. As when Krishna touched him, he was liberated from the body and came out in his celestial form, and sang Krishna, and and proceeded to the heavenly planets. Anyway, so this is sometimes a curse, it's a blessing. As long as if the curse brings us together with Krishna, then it's a blessing. Very different logic like for materialists. For a devotee, some inauspicious things happening, I know from Germany we had young devotees, one bhakta I remember. He said, if I wouldn't sit 2 years in jail, I would never become a devotee. It took 2 years jail. Very special person, and if I would tell you about him, then you wouldn't believe it. It's just, in Denmark, I say the young people are really champions, but how much bad karma they can collect within being 20 years old or something, it's unbelievable. It's like their own marathon to go to hell. But this boy was actually the top what I ever heard. He joined, he was like 24 years old. What he has done, except murder, I think, everything. There was bank robbery included, there was anything. The funny thing is, this was one of the most honest persons I met in my lifetime. He was just by karma stuck. The stories are hilarious. Already before he could even drive a car, he was driving a car. His uncle put him in a car and said, you have to drive me quickly to the next gas station. So he said, oh yeah, they have to tank the car. So they parked the car in front of the gas station. The uncle went inside, robbed the gas station, and went in a car and said, keep on driving. And he was like, and they got lost at night, it was foggy. They came in a circle exactly to the same gas station back. But the police was already waiting for them, and then, and then they went to jail. Things like this. Or he had stories he could tell day and night, They, even when he was with his friends out there at night drinking and having fun, they went to a big hotel and there were these flags in front of the door, like United Nations, these high poles with flags. And they said, I want that flag, can you get it for me? So he climbed up this long pole just to steal the American flag, And when he was hanging up there, police came, everybody ran away, and he was hanging on the pole and they picked him up. It was one story after another like this. It's a very karmically tormented person. But it was always somebody putting him into this, and that's how he ended. Actually, when he got 3 years jail, the judge told him, actually, it was a juvenile jail. He was not, I think, 18. So when he got 2 years jail, he just, the judge told him 1 year is for the crimes you were involved, and 1 year is for your stupidity. That was the comment of the judge. And there he first time heard about Krishna consciousness in jail. And then, jail is a place you cannot go much anywhere. There's even a whole ISKCON jail program. Initiated by anybody who is lifelong sitting in a jail. Or murder of a policeman. So, who tried to rape his wife. Anyway, it's another thing. It's a long story. But he's actually, taking it. He could have escaped, actually. And he said, no, it's my karma. And he's from the jail started this program. Now it's a demanding program, because the persons usually ending up in these institutions are habituated by all kinds of things. And this habituation creates a pattern which is very difficult to change, even in Krishna consciousness. Very difficult. The habituation, Prabhupada said, everybody in this world is habituated, means actually we do things out of reflex. We don't want to do that. But we do that because we did it for a long time, over and over. It's like a reflex. The mind is trained, No, listen, when you did that, you were happy. Do it again, do it again, do it again. You get addicted, habituated like that. And this is one of these things we really struggle in Krishna consciousness. We do out of reflex something which we think, why am I doing this? I don't want to do this anymore. But we do it again, because it's habituation, which takes a long time to uproot the desire which is planted there, to actually cover it with enough Krishna consciousness so it cannot come up again. Like in gardening, When you cover a seed in a very vague way, it will sprout anyway, it will come up. But when it's a solid layer of earth on it, or sand or whatever, solidly covered, then the seed cannot come out. So this is our process in Krishna consciousness. To drown the seeds of material desires by chanting, by engaging practically in devotional service, especially by preaching, assisting preaching. There's preaching means also assisting preaching. In the Vedic times there were not so many preaching. The Brahmanas were preaching, and the rest assisted the Brahmanas. Here in Kali Yuga, things are so disastrous that practically any Shudra is encouraged to preach. But still we should understand our position. It's the same effect. Assisting preaching or preaching, it's the same effect. We are preaching. So one should not necessarily think that as a preacher I have to look like that and do like that. No. Anytime we are part of preaching, we are a preacher. So we should also understand sometimes better our position and be more effective in our input. So Vitasura is teaching us very nicely here how finally the devotee prays to be released from anything what is attaching him to the material world. And naturally take shelter. Naturally means as natural as the birds are crying for food. It's interesting actually, it's in an ultimate sense, these prayers are defining the nature of this world, how everybody is actually selfish. Because, the cows are just drinking the mother empty, the birds are eating their parents empty, and the chaste wife, which is wonderful, is longing for the husband to satisfy her in all respects. Sounds quite selfish, isn't it? But it's chaste. Still, the principle is, who is going to satisfy me in all respects? So it's natural. There's nothing, we don't even criticize. That's how it works here. Yes, I'm so changed, I will follow you. Yes, you are the Lord of my heart. As long as you satisfy me in all respects. This is how the game goes. And it can be turned in any way. The man also goes. But I also want to be satisfied in all respects. Let's define what it means to be satisfied in all respects. I think it should be like that. And the lady goes, no. I think it should be like that. I can satisfy you in all respects. If you satisfy me in all respects first. But because I don't feel satisfied in all respects first, I cannot satisfy you in all respects. So try harder. And the man goes, okay, I will try harder, so I can be finally satisfied in all respects. After I satisfied my wife in all respects. Here's one little secret. This will never happen. Because we have a clear information in Bhagavad Gita that senses can never be satisfied in all respects. No, the senses cannot be satisfied. There's always something more to watch, more to eat, more to smell, more to touch, more this. There were Vedic cultures teaching everybody to be satisfied what you got. That's one of the reasons why in India you find still so many peaceful places, because sometimes people are just, from a Western point of view, it borders on laziness. They go, he's lazy, he's not trying harder. Prabhupada said it's completely natural for the conditioned soul to be lazy, because he's not inspiring to try harder here. You don't get anything out of it, ultimately. And it's true. So, but this try harder, In India you find still many people who go, why should I try harder? I have what I need. Look, what do you need? That's the real question. What do you need? You need shelter. I have my shelter. I have my family here. You need something to eat. Yeah, I have my food. When I joined this movement, there was a huge propaganda in West that help India. They are all starving. They are all hungry. They are dying. Help. There was a huge collection going on. Actually, we used it sometimes as devotees. We go down the street and say, we are also collecting for the 100 children in India. We did in some sense because we did distribute prasadam in India, but that was not the main program really. So some objection was taken by the government. What are you talking about here? Hey, let's show us how much money you are sending to India. It wasn't so much. So anyway, there was a big problem out of that. But the point is that Indians are very good at this. We are so hungry, give us more. Thank you very much. I'm still hungry, give us more. Thank you very much. This was that. Srila Prabhupada was very upset about this. He said, we are not beggars. We should give, we should not take. We have so much to give. And it's a fact. India has so much to give. So, in spiritual knowledge especially. But they always say, give me, give me, give me, give me. It's so humiliating. But actually, you meet people who actually understood, why should I just strive for more if I already have what I need? Place to sleep. It's easy in India. You don't even need heating. Here it's always heating and isolating and packing yourself because it's cold and, no people can actually live with me. In India, you just need something simple. Yeah, air conditioning, yeah, it's good to have. But otherwise, even without air conditioning, you have to manage. I stayed not the whole summer, just the springtime was enough in Vrindavan. It was getting 40 degrees. You couldn't walk on a marble. But they say natural air conditioning you can do. You just pour water over the marble, you just go, you have a little sauna. And then when it's really cold, you dip a blanket, in a water, and then wrap yourself in cold blanket. In a few minutes it's dry, of course. Then you dip it again, and then you are air conditioned. Whatever you do, it's, like that. It's tough. The material is tough. But there are people you see sometimes, like one of the few places I saw, it's in India, people just still smile and go, yeah, I have what I need. But then comes the Western propaganda. No! You are backwards. You should get more. And you should progress more. And you should get even more. And more. And more. And everybody starts to run around like crazy, like ants, back and forth, trying to get more. No. The real satisfied, even materially spoken, the basic desires can be satisfied very simply. You don't have to go for more. More Krishna consciousness, that's another challenge. But materially spoken, we don't have to. So this is the lessons we can hear and learn from the Tasura, the ultimate devotee, for him more means to get released from this material world and be going back home, back to Godhead. That's the question. There's some questions? No. Unusual Sunday morning guests. It's nice. Did you sacrifice your Sunday morning?
Little bit.
Huh?
Little bit.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
You don't see any Danish person coming Sunday morning. You know why? Because they're all drunk Saturday night. It's as simple as that.
But this time, just like they have already been drunk on Friday, so maybe.
So they keep on Saturday a little bit more.
Yeah.
Then you sober up, and Sunday you take a good rest, and you go to work again. That's usually. It's not just a Danish thing. It's the Western culture.
Hinduism in Western culture.
Friday you go to hell, Saturday you remember how it was in hell, and on Sunday you try to come back again. This is
totally different from.
It must be very, very different in India. In India they go on Friday night to the evening artik, on Saturday they go to the temple or something like this, and Sunday, they also go to work, of course.
Also in Nepal we do the same. In Nepal we do kirtan every Friday evening.
That's nice.
Yeah, and like other special occasions like Ram Navami, Krishna Janmashtami, we always follow those.
Yesterday I saw an Indian family coming around the corner. They were really desperate. The first time they couldn't find the place. This is so small. So they're like, where is it? Where is it? We have to find it. Where is it? Where is it? I was thinking, tents India. You never see Danish people just running around. Where is it? I have to find the Hare Krishna temple. I have to take darshan.
And it is so wonderful that last time when I was in Nepal, I was saying about the mandir here, the temple here in Denmark to my parents and the family. They were so wonderful how it is there.
It's only because of Srila Prabhupada, otherwise he wouldn't be here. We didn't know once think about this. I wasn't born here to cultivate Krishna consciousness, you know. But I joined this movement when I was 18 because there was an example. There was somebody doing this. It's only because Srila Prabhupada brought it to the West. We can do that. You are from Kathmandu directly or?
Actually, I am from East Nepal.
Ah.
It is called Mora.
I'm sure it's either on the top of the mountain or in the valley, isn't it? It can be only.
We have almost in every village we have a temple.
Most of them are Hindu.
Yeah? Hindu.
Most of the people are from like they follow the Hindus.
Yeah.
It is around more than 85%.
85%.
I was in Kathmandu a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago.
Okay.
It was very different. Okay.
Lots of people goes to visit Pashupatinath. You know Pashupatinath? That's one of the items for our.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.